and they just quit. That's awesome. Awesome. Quitting. Just gonna quit on me, and they just quit. Awesome. I am quitting. Yeah. That was fun. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Doo, and we are back once again for a new reveal of the next expansion of Shadowverse, Steel Rebellion. This is a 12 card set. It's all revolving around this whole Machina trait that has been released, or is being released, I should say. And without further ado, let me go over all billion cards and hate myself for waiting, until the last minute. Let's go! Yay, cards! Woo! Starting with Forest Craft. You have Cynthia, the Queen's Blade. Fanfare, give another unevolved allied Forest Craft follower the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. During your turn, whenever another allied follower evolves, summon 2 Fairy Wisps. So yeah, this is... Oh, wait, sorry, excuse me. Evolves. When you evolve, you summon 2 fairies. And during your turn, when another allied follower evolves, summon 2 Fairy Wisps. Okay, so a 6/5/7, that's a decent body. And you get 2 fairies when you evolve, and if something else evolves, you get 2 Fairy Wisps, which are 0/1/1 followers. Yeah, I think this is a solid card. Good for I don't know. I think in general, just all around decent, all around good card. Next, you have the Mechalance Elf, 7/6/3 with Rush. Whenever this follower attacks an enemy follower, reduce damage to this follower 2/0 until the end of the turn, and deal X damage to the enemy leader. X equals the attack of this follower minus the defense of the enemy follower. So this card is very strange because this is like, for like Magic the Gathering, this is like the trample ability. You take the attack of Mechalance and subtract it from the defense. Yeah, that's literally the definition of what trample is. So that's very interesting. So you guys going with Rush and quote-unquote trample, and it's a 6/3. So basically use it to crash into someone, but you're also doing damage at the same time. I feel like this would be good in like this would definitely be good in like a more aggro deck. It's like you can kill something big and then also do damage at the same time. I guess the only thing that would suck is if said follower in question had like a defense of like 6 or something, and then you do no damage. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this card would, where this card would fit exactly. Probably a more aggro deck. Next, you have Arya's Whirlwind. Deal X damage to all followers, excluding fairies and fairy wisps. X equals the number of other cards played this turn. This card is excellent. This is such good removal. I didn't know it was like excluding fairies and fairy wisps. So this card is really, really good just for that, which is something Forest needed so badly. It needed some good removal, and I believe they found it in this card. Next, we have the Iron Bow Sniper, 4/3/3. Fanfare, deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals 2 times the number of allied Machina followers in play. So yeah, I think this card's pretty good, considering if there's just like a Machina card, which I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of cheap ones from what I've seen in the expansion, what they revealed. There's gonna be some cheap ones, so you can just have those on the field, play this card, ping something for 2, evolve, crash into something. It could be a good card. I'm not sure if there is a better 4-drop it depends. Like, if Matera is still... I forget if Matera was in Chronogenesis or not. But if she is in this... If she's not being rotated out, then people are still going to run Matera, because Matera is just better. But this is like, you know, Matera Light. This is also not a bad card. A Boreal Core, 3-drop play point with the Machina trait. Fanfare 7, recover 1 evil point. During your turn, when an ally follower evolves, put 2 Fairy Wisp into your hand and banish this amulet. Yeah, I can't see this card being used. I just know there's like other versions of these for each class, and this is like definitely one of the worst ones. But just because you only get 2 Fairy Wisps, like, okay, pay. Yeah, no, I feel like it's really slow and not worth it. Maybe like if you're trying to do like a combo deck, this card would be good. Daisy Bolt Archer. Enhance 7, gain +3/+3, and deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy followers during your turn. Whenever another allied follower evolves, deal 2 damage to a random enemy follower. Yeah, I can't really see this card being used. Next! Forest Hermit, a 3/2/2 with Fanfare. Put a random Machina card from your deck into your hand. Oh, excuse me. So, while I do love the fact that it puts a random Machina in your hand, so it's good for fishing for Machina cards, my only complaint about it is the fact that for some reason it's not a Machina card itself. It's like, why are you also not a Machina card? Doesn't make much sense to me, but alright. Oh, I do love its evolved art. That looks really nice. Robotic Bagworm, 1/1/1 Machina card. Until the end of turn, subtract 1 from the cost of a Machina card in your hand. That's really good. That's very along the Forest Craft thing, like the Forest Craft trope. Try to play as many cards as possible in one turn for whatever reason. So yeah, really like this card. It's a good card, a good 1-drop for Machina for Forest. And they reprinted Nature's Guidance. Return an allied follower or amulet to your hand and draw a card. This is a very strong card for what Forest has to do, essentially. So, yeah, people are going to run it because it's just a really heckin' good card. Next we are doing my favorite class in the world. So great, totally not bullshit at any point ever. Sword. Yay. Lesia, Sky Saver. 4-drop 3/3 legendary commander. How great, you know. Only good things happen when they make cheap or low costing legendaries. During your turn, when an allied officer comes into play, evolve this follower. Whenever this follower attacks, if there isn't an allied Nano the Dawn Blade in play, summon a Nano the Dawn Blade. When this follower attacks, if this is your 10th turn or later, put a Twilight Blade into your hand. My lord, I cannot read. So Nano the Dawn Blade is a 1/1 with Bane, which is good. Thank God it doesn't have Rush. And Twilight Blade is deal 5 damage to all enemies. Cool, yet another finisher that this class did not need. Oops. So yeah, this is a really good. This is a really good 4-drop. I do appreciate that getting the Twilight Blade is only gonna happen if they attack past the 10th turn. I really appreciate that because they could have been a dick and been like, "Oh, well, if it's just your 10th turn or later, you could just get this card and bullshit." So I appreciate that. I don't think it was necessary. I don't think Twilight Blade was necessary, but it could have been worse. It definitely could have been worse. I'm still gonna hate this card. I already hate this card because I hate Sword. Moving on. Johan, the Ironforged hero. 7-drop 3-5 Rush. Whenever an allied Machina follower is destroyed, subtract 1 from the cost of this card. Wait, hold on. Are you Machina? Yes, you're not Machina. Fantastic. Thank God. Whenever an allied Machina follower is destroyed, subtract 1 from the cost of this card. When another allied follower comes to play, give it Rush. So, yeah, this is a really good defensive card. You know, really just crash into things, and if it's cheap enough, you can play other things, and they can all crash into stuff, and the one just big, fun killing party, or whatever. Play multiple Johans, and, well, that would actually be pointless, because they all have Rush already. You get what I mean. I'm assuming you can go from A to B, but just by reading what this says. Moving on. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Here comes the bullshit. Stamping Fortress. 4-drop 4/3. Enhance 9. Gain +3/+3 and the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. But I don't give a fuck about that. I care about what happens. Well, that's actually kind of important. But what happens when it evolves? If you have at least 2 Machina cards in your hand, summon 3 assembly droids. For those who don't know, that is just a 1/1/1 follower. So yeah. So if you evolve this and you have the Machina cards in your hand, it just becomes what, a 7/6? Sorry, if you evolve it, it becomes a 9/8. It just becomes a 9/8, just like that. So yeah, this card's bullshit. I actually hate this card. Why would you just put such a massive big body and then just a couple of like baby followers? I'll never understand. This was not a good design. Not a huge fan of this card whatsoever. Ugh. Let's get this garbage off my screen, please, and thank you. Troya, Thunder of Hagelberg, 3/2/2. If you have at least 2 officer cards in your hand, gain Rush. If you have at least 2 commander cards in your hand, gain +1/+1. Evolve, deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals the number of officer cards. Sorry, X equals the number of commander cards in your hand. This could be like that turn 4 card you play to remove multiple things at once. I mean, you couldn't play this in a Machina deck by any means, but you know. In a non-Machina deck, I feel like this card would be fine, because you're gonna have a commander, you're gonna have an officer. I mean, the only problem is like if you have at least 2. That might be a little bit hard to pull off both, but if you have like a more creature heavy deck in Swordcraft, which is almost always the case, then I don't think this card would be too hard to get off at all. I don't see it filling up any slots, but I don't think it's a bad card. It might replace the Frontline Cavalier, maybe, because I can't think of anything else that can do that outside of a Machina deck. Glorious Core, 3-drop Amulet, Machina. Enhance Enhance 7, recover 1 evolution point during your turn. When an allied follower evolves, give +1/+1 to all allied followers and banish this amulet. Absolutely not. This would be good in a Machina deck with the 4-drop, with the Stamping Fortress, because if you played him and you evolved and he got all those followers, and then this went away and give him all +1/+1, like you won the game. Like, I don't see how your opponent's coming back from that. So maybe I would run in a Machina deck, but that's like the only case I would do. I would run this card, TBH. Ivory Sword Dance, 2-drop, deal 1 damage to a random enemy follower X times, maximum 10 times. X equals the attack of the strongest allied follower in play. Enhance, before dealing damage, give +2/+2 to an allied follower. I think this is I would say this is good, like this is good in like a more control deck, like a Spartacus deck. I would see myself running something like this. Outside of that, not really. This is just a very slow card and doesn't really fit most Swordcraft builds or decks outside of Spartacus. Cyber Cannoneer, 2/2/2. Enhance 4, summon 2 assembly droids. Yeah, I mean, you probably are going to run this if you're running Machina, just because it's a Machina card. And Enhance 4 isn't bad, by the way. Like, paying 4 and then it becomes a quote-unquote a 4/4 because you summon the assembly droids. Yeah, I think this card's good. Definitely for Machina, I would say so. Phantom Assassin for a 3-drop 4/2 with Bane. Why is it such a high attack? There's also like be trading with stuff. I no one's going to use this card. 5-drop Dual Blade Fury. 5-drop spell. Give rush to an ally follower. That follower can attack 2 times per turn. Maybe, I don't know, in a kind of meme deck where you attack twice and stuff happens. But yeah, not a good card. Don't see it being used. It is time to talk about the best class in this entire fucking game, Runecraft. We're going to start off strong with Tetra Sapphire Rebel. 4-drop 3/4. Full evolution stats. Fanfare. Put a repair mode into your hand. Whenever this follower attacks, recover 1 play point. Evolve, put a Delta Cannon into your hand. Whenever this follower attacks, recover 1 play point. Excuse me. So let's look at what this is. Repair mode is the 1 play point spell. Restore 1 defense to an ally. If it's a Machina follower, restore 3 instead. And then Delta Cannon. It's a 1 play point spell. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. So you can also hit the face. Give your leader the following effect. At the end of this turn, if at least 4 Machina cards were played this turn, put a Delta Cannon into your hand. So yeah, I love this card. Loving this card. Delta Cannon, I think, is very balanced because it's only for that turn. Only for that turn does this ability work. Not for the rest of the game, just the end of the turn. So yeah, you evolve this, you trade something, you can play repair mode and heal your follower, or you can play Delta Cannon and, you know, can trade with something else. Ooh, sorry, I'm parched. It's gonna be a really fun card. I can't wait to do Ruin Machina. I think it's gonna be my first deck I'm gonna make. TBH. Presto Changeo, also loving this card. Transform an enemy follower amulet into a Joycrafter Sammy. Joycrafter Sammy is a 4/3/4 with fanfare. Both players draw a card, which doesn't matter because this card will be on the field already. It won't be coming in. But if you evolve it, both players draw a card. Now, a couple of interesting things to mention. For starters, I can only change an enemy follower amulet. I can't do it to my own into Joycrafter Sammy, which I think is an important distinction to make. Also, despite what, you know, other people, Oni, might say, I think this card is balanced because you're giving your opponent a 3/4. That's why you can only do it to an enemy follower amulet. Because imagine if you play something turn 1 and you change it into a Joycrafter Sammy. All of a sudden, you have a 3/4 that can draw a card for you. Like, that's going to be very powerful. So, you know, it's very fair that you can only do it to enemy follower amulet. But I'm willing to take that balance because you know what this means? This means no more Lashina. This means no more Seraph. No more Tenko. All that bullshit. Get all that shit out of here. Bye. Ugh. God, I love this card. Cannot wait to use this card. I'm using this card 100%. I think it's a very good, well-designed card, to be honest. Awesome. Now we have Hana, Mysteria, Paragon. So there's some Mysteria support, which I appreciate. Hana is fanfare is put an Mysteria Knowledge into your hand. Mysteria Knowledge. So one play point spell that gives you a missile or a circle. It's also rotating out, which means I'm going to be very sad. I'm going to be super sad, actually. Because with that, definitely goes down the overall power of Mysteria decks. Like that's a huge loss, in my opinion. Sagacious Core. Arguably one of the better Machina, the playpoint amulets that they're coming out with. Fanfare in hand 7, recover 1 playpoint of evil, whatever. I don't care about that. I care about what it does. When an ally follower evolves, add 2 insights to your hand, recover 2 playpoints, and then banish this amulet. An insight is a 1 playpoint spell that just lets you draw a card. So essentially, on your next turn, you evolve something, you trade, whatever, and you can just draw 2. It's a free draw 2. This lets you draw 2. I have to run this in a Machina deck. I feel like you'd be stupid not to run it in the Machina deck. Really, really, really good. It's really, really good in my opinion. Next up we have Maggie Blade Witch. It's a 8/4/4. Accelerate 1, summon an Earth Essence, fanfare, 3, deal 3 damage to 2 random enemy followers. So, the actual follower itself sucks, like, these stats are deplorable, it's like an 8/4/4, like, Jesus, that's really, really bad. But we don't care about that, we care about the accelerate ability. Summon an Earth Essence. So, it essentially becomes like Commence Experiment, which I think is pretty cool. Earth Essence is what this is, it's what you would use in a Dirt Rune deck, and yeah, I guess for Dirt Rune, this card would actually be decent. Literally only because Accelerate 1 ability. Like I do not care about the fanfare. I don't care about your stats. Garbage. All of it's garbage. But I will put you in my deck just for the Accelerate 1, if I had to. Next we have Shirati, Mysterian Mogul, 2/2/1. Fanfare, put a Cayman Mysterian Butler into your hand. Let's see what that is. It is a 2-drop 1/3. Also Mysteria. Restore 2 defense to your leader. So some healing, which is cute. I love me some healing. And when you evolve it, it gains Bane, so it can trade with stuff. So they're taking, I guess they're trying to deal with the fact that you're not going to have Mysteria Knowledge and then just put in more like really defensive cards. And I actually can appreciate this. Like this on 2/4, I don't think would be like the worst thing to play, honestly. So yeah, I don't hate it per se. I don't hate it at all. The only thing I don't like about it is that it only gains Bane when it evolves. So it's like if you don't have an Evo point, then it's just useless.